what was kind of your initial reaction to the premise of this movie and the role you would be playing when you first heard about it?
Yeah, when it was actually our director, Jerry Chicariti, who I'd worked with briefly on Schitt's Creek years ago. He called me out of the blue, and I did not have his number saved in my phone. So I literally just decided to answer this strange Ontario area code phone number. And yeah, he was like, I got this movie for you. I think you'd be perfect for it. Take a look and let me know what you think. And yeah, when I got the script and saw that it was called Hot Frosty, needless to say, I had some reservations about about it. But as soon as I started reading it, I was just so struck by how much more it was than just what that title kind of makes you think it's going to be. There's really so much layers, especially with Lacey's character Kathy, like dealing with grief and growth and sort of moving on. It was so heartwarming. But then also with Jack, when I got to his stuff and his introduction, I was immediately so excited just for the prospect to be able to play that kind of physical comedy and to embody physically this guy who is so literally brand new to the world and just experiencing everything for the very first time, and the kind of sense of wonder and excitement and earnestness that he has as a result of that. Yeah, it was just kind of a no-brainer for me. I was so on board right away because it had everything that I didn't even know I was looking for.
Speaking of the wide-eyed wonder of your
Yeah,
character,
yeah.
talk to me about that first scene, your first scene in the movie where you come to life. Just walk me through the process. Do they coat you in some sort of snow substance? How do you act like an ice sculpture coming to life? What do you recall from filming that scene?
It was so we shot in a town called Brockville, Ontario. It was probably like 2 in the morning when we shot that in the middle of, I guess, late April, maybe early May, when those specific scenes. It actually wasn't terribly cold, but it was pretty cold. And yeah, the makeup team did a really wonderful job in what would seem like a pretty simple makeup application of just kind of, white, snowy makeup. And then some little bits of glue in my chest hair and on my eyebrows and stuff to make it look like icicles. And yeah, it was just really about in those moments, especially just really leaning into the uninhibited physicality that this character would I think need to have in order to do it justice. So I just, Jerry called action, and I just kind of stumbled out of the fake snow pile that I was standing in and started flopping around all goofy and wacky.
You obviously do look great in the movie. I'm wondering, did you have to do like training to get in a certain shape for an ice sculpture look? Did Netflix insist on a certain number of abs or something like this?
Yeah, again, I basically, it was about 2 weeks or less out from shooting. So really the only preparation I could do was to dive into the character. And that was something that, yeah, it sort of required being quite exposed, which is not always totally comfortable, but getting over that hurdle and just leaning into it was something that I actually feel like I learned something about myself as a result of that, which I wasn't expecting, but certainly is very welcome.
And you do have the scarf. How do they make sure the scarf stays in place for that opening scene, that first scene?
You kind of have to. They do CGI out the fact that I'm wearing these. I don't know if it's called like a dancer's belt, but you're kind of in like this weird, kind of thick underwear, very strange stuff that they put you in. And so the scarf we sewed to one part in the back, and then we looped it around and then sewed it to one part in the front. I had to be very careful with those needles.